Okay, here we go. Topic of this week is debt policy. Okay, so the question is how much should you borrow? Okay, so since beginning of the semester, I think I have been focusing on more investment in stock like equity, such as beta, portfolio, standard deviation, CAPM, those kind of things. So I have to admit that those are one of my expertise or the field of the finance that I really like. So, but we need to know about borrowing or liability as well. So that's the focus of this week. Okay, so these are the three things that I'm going to cover in this video. So break-even analysis, maybe you already know this concept, but let's review. Return on investment, and the last one is optimal capital structure, debt to equity. So that means what should be the proportion of each uh, finance option. So remember, when you want to borrow, you want to invest in something, you have two options to get money. You can either borrow or you can issue the share, or you get the investment from the shareholder. So it should be supposed to be 50-50, or are they supposed to be 10% and 90%? So it's called capital structure. Okay. So remember, this is a coffee shop. Okay. Then the question is, how many cups of coffee do you need to sell to make profits? Okay, so profit comes from sales minus cost, obviously. Okay, then your sales comes from selling your coffee. So let's say you set your coffee as one cup is 100 baht, so it's kind of premium price. Okay, so your coffee shop targets the premium customer. Okay, then cost can be divided into two things. One is fixed cost and the other one is variable cost. Fixed cost is, as the name suggests, it does not change. Either you sell it or you don't sell your coffee. It doesn't matter. You have to pay, such as rent or the salary for your employees. All right. So even though now PIM is closed, but PIM has to pay me the salary. Okay, so this is called fixed cost. So even so, if you are the owner of the coffee shop, you have to pay the salary to the employee, or maybe maintenance. Maybe you have to maintain your air conditioners, or maybe coffee makers, some devices. Those things you have to maintain to be able to use it. So it doesn't matter how much coffee you sell, you have to maintain. Whereas variable cost, okay. These are the ones that it changes with your sales. So such as coffee beans, okay. When you sell coffee, you have to have coffee beans. But if you don't sell your coffee, then you don't need it, okay. Ingredients, same thing. Milk, sugars, any other kind of ingredients that you have to put in the coffee. If you don't sell it, you don't have to use it. Containers as well, utilities, maybe electricity, right? When you open your coffee shop, you have to pay for electricity. But let's say your coffee shop is closed on Mondays, then you don't use air conditioner, so you don't have to pay for it. Okay. So as the name suggests, there's a fixed cost which doesn't change, and a variable cost which changes along with sales. Okay. So this is a break-even point. Okay, this is a formula you don't have to remember. It's very fairly easy to understand. Quantity, break-even quantity is equal to, so this is how you can calculate your break-even, is equal to F is total fixed cost divided by sales price is P minus B is variable cost per unit. Okay, so let's see some example. Okay, so here's your assumption for your coffee shop. So your sales price is 100 per cup. Okay, so this is per cup. Okay, then fixed cost is 2,000, and the variable cost is 30 baht per unit. Okay, so I already put information here. Okay, same information, right? Same information here. Okay, anyway, so we want to know how many units you have to sell. Okay, so there's 10, 0, 0, 10, and so on until let's say 50. Okay, so this is a unit of, or how many cups of coffee you sell. Okay, so sales is equal to, of course, price of your coffee, times how many cups you sell. Okay, so if you don't sell anything, then your sales is 0, of course, right? If you sell 10 cups, then your sales is 1,000. Okay. Fixed cost, remember fixed cost does not change. So it's always 2,000, right? So no matter how many cups you sell, it's always 2,000, stays the same. How about the variable cost? Is kind of same thing as the sales. So variable cost, right? Variable cost times, variable cost, okay, times unit. Okay. Same thing. So if no sales, no variable cost. But once you have some sales units, then you have some variable cost. Okay. Then here the total cost is equal to fixed cost times variable cost. Right? It's very simple. Very simple. Okay. Then profit is come from, remember, sales minus sales minus cost. Right. Okay. So here we go. Okay. So as you can see, not, of course, if you have no sales, you make loss. How about if you have 10 cups of coffee, then you still don't make money. How about 20? Not yet, but once you pass this point, then you start making profit. Okay, so maybe I want to make this in a graph. Let's see. Maybe it's easier for you to see. So here we go. Okay, then maybe I change this. To this unit. So these are the x. Okay. All right. So what this chart means is this blue line sales. Sales starts with 0 up to 5,000, right? Fixed cost, it's 2,000. It stays the same. Okay, so it's just a straight line, flat line. Okay. Total cost is gray line. Okay. Then there's this one point that this point cross. This is a cross point between sales and cost. Okay. So once you cross this point, your sales is higher than your cost. Okay. So if you go down here, then this one is your profit. Okay. So profit start with negative 2,000. Then at this point, it crosses the 0, then becomes positive, right? So anything over here is you make profit. Here, you make loss. It's fairly simple, okay? So so it looks like somewhere between, I think, 27, 28, I think, just a little bit before 30. Or you can use formula. Remember, formula is fixed cost divided by price minus variable cost, right? Okay, so it's equal to fixed cost divided by price minus variable. Okay, so it's 28.5. You cannot sell 28.5 cups of coffee. Okay, so it has to be, maybe I will make this, it has to be 29. Okay, so once you make 29 cups of coffee in, let's say, one day, then you start making profit. So 10 is not enough, 20 is not enough, 28 is still not enough. But once you cross 29, that's your money for you. Okay, so that's what this break even is about. Okay, the return on invested capital. Okay, so return on invested capital is just a change in profit divided by invested capital. So what this is let's say now your coffee shop is doing good, so you want to start selling bakery at your cafe as well. Okay, but this oven is cost 300,000. But if you start making bakery as well, then your profit increased by 60,000. So your return on invested capital is equal to 60,000 divided by 300,000 is equal to 20%. Okay, so that's your return on your this investment in this open. Okay.